the books. Kids had good tempo today, good energy, and glad for that. I think they're excited about the home opener and looking forward to getting to play. What y'all got for me? Not everybody wants.
Coach Isaiah Wynn, we saw him with a little brace on his left arm. What's going on there?
He's got a dinged up shoulder. He got a little hyperextension from the game the other night. He's fine.
Coach, whenever you talked yesterday about some of the tackling issues I guess you felt the team had, did y'all go back and count up how many yards came as a result? Some of those
Yeah, we do that every game. It was over 100, so it's not good when that happens. We have total missed tackles, mental errors, yards after contact, yards after missed tackles, which unit had the most missed tackles. We look at it every way you can, and we just got to tackle better. We got to make it an emphasis in practice to tackle the good backs.
In the secondary, how much of the, especially on the deep balls, how much was it a strategy to let these guys be on an island, and how much of it was maybe some busted coverages?
No, it's never a strategy to be on an island. I mean, certainly we're going to have pressures we have to run, but at the end of the day, we got to be able to cover better. If we're going to be a good football team, we got to be able to cover man to man. And they got behind us at times. If that happens, we give up big plays. We were very fortunate. That's why I said I was sick after the game. But I'll be honest with y'all, we've moved on. We talked about this Monday. We're moved on to Nicholls. We're trying to improve us, get better at us, technique, fundamentals, everything.
Do you anticipate a lot of personnel shuffling as a result of, week 1, week 2?
No, I anticipate a lot of getting better fundamentally and technique-wise. But if there was a better player, we'd have had him out there. We got to get the players better that were out there and improve those guys.
Coach Rico McGraw kind of just saw him pull himself out of a drill yesterday. Shoulder issues. He battling anything right now?
Yeah, he's got some subluxation. His shoulder's been going in and out on him, which is very frustrating, especially for a person that has to use his shoulders. DBs have to use their arms. And when it's slipping in and out, it's very frustrating because you don't know when it's going to happen, and when he does, it's really painful.
Did that have anything to do with him not being able to get in on Saturday?
It had been bothering him before that, yeah, but that didn't have a whole lot to do with it. It has been bothering him.
Looking at Nicholls on Saturday, for you personally, do you like scheduling these FCS schools?
Well, obviously I inherited this one, but I think it gives those kids an opportunity to play in a venue they don't get to play in. It's not something that I can say I love or don't love because it's not fair to them. Some of these teams, they fund their program through these games, and they give kids an opportunity to go play football. I coached in LSU for a year, so I know there's good high school football in that state, and a lot of those kids would have an opportunity to go play if they went for this game because they might not have a program. So that part of it, you got to look at it through both sides of the straw.
Kirby, with kickoffs, are you going to use either or? I mean, in terms of do you feel settled on one guy there?
No, I'm not settled. We're not settled on one guy. We'll get the guy that does the best job this week when we do kickoff. Whichever one of them earns the job, it'll be a competition until somebody wins it.
Do you have
settled.
Do you have a philosophy as far as that goes? Do you want a guy that can boot it out of the end zone, or do you want to try to?
What do you think? What do you want?
I don't want anything.
Well, which one would you want? If you were coaching, which one would you want?
Yeah, I want somebody to kick it out.
Me too. That's my philosophy. You know anybody? We're going to try some things to give those guys a little break. Maybe their legs a little bit stronger because they have the ability to do it. But maybe we've been overkicking them. I don't know. Maybe we've been overthinking it. But it's been a concern of mine all camp. It'll continue to be until that ball goes out of the end zone like theirs did.
I'll ask the one about quarterbacks. We've obviously it's just second practice of the week. So, do you anticipate? Do you want to resolve something again this week and name a starter before we get out of it?
Yeah, I want to, but it may not resolve itself. We feel comfortable about who's going to go out there for the first play, then we'll name it. But we're not that comfortable about that right now. So, I don't think it's as pressing an issue as it was last time because both of them have played now. So it's not as in the forefront.
If I could follow up, obviously Jacob's stats were slightly better than Grayson. He threw the ball, completed a long ball. Does that give him an advantage? I mean, is it as easy as saying that, his yards, his stats look better?
Definitely not as easy as saying that because there's so many more things that went into that game that didn't work out right, with Jacob out there. So, you like to base things on how guys performed and how they played. And I know to the public eye, he made a couple bigger throws. you got an opportunity to make a couple bigger throws. So that's not the be-all and end-all. There's a lot of functioning of the offense that's got to improve for both of them and for the guys around them. I mean, the total communication on offense has got to go up, where the people are calling out the right mic, calling out the right person to support, blocking the right guy, carrying the ball the right way. There's a lot that's got to improve, and that goes for Jacob and Grayson as well.
Kirby, you had three guys that made an impact in the game Saturday. They kind of were late additions to your program after signing day transfers. And Harry, and how is that like a first-year thing in terms of, or are you going to be always actively looking to, add to the roster depending, not the time of year doesn't matter and that kind of stuff? I mean,
Another question. What do you think? I'm trying to get our team as best as we can. Okay, so that goes on all the way through now. It's going on right now for next year. We're trying to get our team better. So it's not even about late additions. It's not about transfer. Not about graduate. It's about getting the best team we can have out there for the University of Georgia. And I think that's what's important. So if there's people out there interested, if there's young men that are trying to qualify academically that are going to do the right things in the classroom, then we want a chance to add them if they make our program better.
is the support staff you have able to kind of help identify that? Is that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what their job is. That's why we hire them to do that. It's also having a staff that's interconnected throughout. It's connected to this place, that place, knows people. You know high school coaches, you know about players. I mean, that's always going to be the case. I just don't think you can't recruit enough people. You've got to recruit a ton to get a few, and that goes for everything.
Kirby, a couple players mentioned being graded on player efficiency rating. Is that, what exactly is that? What can you say about it?
Well, I think every coach has their particular way they grade. We have a defensive coordinator, an offensive coordinator that grade their certain way. They have their philosophies. And then O-line coaches a lot of times grade on efficiency because it's hard to judge someone on the offensive line all the time. So an efficiency rating tells us, like, run efficiency. If we run the ball for 4 yards or more on first down, then we're efficient. Second down, if we run for more than half of what's left, then we're efficient. Second and 8, we run for 4 yards, great. Second and 6, we run for 3, it's great. And third down, if we run for the first down, that's efficient. So there's an efficiency rating we have for the offense on runs and for personal players, and that's based on each coach's grade.
Did you bring it over from Alabama?
Actually,
do they do it in a lot of places?
We've had efficiencies everywhere I've been, but it wasn't, I don't know that I could credit it to anyone. It's been going on. We all plagiarized in coaching.
Notice when Malcolm had that penalty that you kind of pulled him over to the side, you guys had a conversation. He's a guy that's wide open all the time. I mean, what was the conversation like there with?
Yeah, that's not most time you have an undisciplined penalty. Tyler Catalina's was undisciplined. When you look back at the film, Malcolm was looking for the ball because our punter wasn't kicking it in the right direction, so he lost confidence in the punter, and he was looking for the ball, and he never saw the fair catch. So on a great returner, I mean, if he's going to err on the side of tackling that guy, they're not doing it. So I mean, I'm not upset. Don't lose him cool over that. He didn't see it. He just missed it.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that about like the conversation there. Another thing I want to ask is pass breakup in the end zone against the guy who's giving up 6 inches to, team leading tackler. How do you feel like you performed just overall?
Well, he made some plays, but he didn't play the level we expected him to. He let people get behind him. He got tired in the game, conditioning-wise. I'm always proud of the way Malcolm competes, ranking top 5 competitor on the team. He did it out there today. His GPS number is always nice. He hasn't had one day that he didn't have the most yards run of all the DBs. It's just who he is. But he's got to improve if we're going to play well. He's going to be overmatched by a lot of bigger receivers. He's going to have to play on guys like that. So we've got to count on him to be able to make plays, and we've also got to be able to help him some.
Kirby, have you liked the approach the team has had, given it came off a win and not as much attention on this opponent?
I was real nervous about that, but so far, so good. I mean, they really worked hard Monday, and we hit them pretty hard Monday with some facts, some information, and some thoughts, and we hit them again today. They answered the bell, so that's why I said at the beginning, I think they're excited about the home opener, and they're focused on getting better, which is our ultimate goal.
Is Sony any closer to being cleared?
I can't tell you that. I don't know. I can say he's getting closer. It's all up to the doctors. All I can tell you is he's doing everything he can on the field outside of getting tackled. So I certainly hope so.
Nicholls State's not a team we know a whole lot about. What do they do offensively? Would you kind of compare them to?
Yeah,
skill-wise?
they went up tempo last year some. They've got an athletic quarterback, which always scares me. A guy can run. They got a transfer in from Tulane, who's a big kid, powerful runner. Would remind you of Jacoby Brissett from NC State last year that used to be at Florida. But they've also got their guy back that was injured last year, who's a really good player. Got a great wide out, number 2, does a good job. So, you know, those guys, we don't know a lot. So we're having to kind of do what we call a rules game. Rules game is play by your rules. And then we got to figure it out on the run. Because they're going to throw something else we haven't seen, I can assure you. And that's always hard, but they got their issues too of coming into a stadium and playing their first game. So, like I talked about before, there's always anxiety in both.
Time for one more question, anybody? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, guys.